up, guys? Welcome to a brand new weekly update. This is the first day of the month, so I thought it would be a great way to show you guys my current view on the market. As you can see, we are on the monthly chart of Bitcoin. This time frame is a really, you know, building block of everything else. Is very high time frame. You have a really low time preference looking at this chart because the pullbacks are so shallow that you know this isn't an uptrend. We barely had a pullback at all here when we see this really huge chart dating back to 2012. This is the Bitstamp chart. If we look at the basic principles of a trend, we just like to see nice impulsive waves up and then a shallow retracement back down, then resume the trend back up, then a retracement back down, and that's the way it goes. We never saw a lower low on Bitcoin, and that tends to be, a backed by the logarithm chart, the Fibonacci retracements, backed by the really important key levels, the miners production cost, the bull market cycles. There's a lot of things that protect Bitcoin and have been really strong in the past. Ever since we have a low formed, we tend to go for astronomically high returns that are terrific, never seen on the financial markets before, such as 10x, 20x. These returns are totally out of the box, totally risky, but there are rewards for these returns, right? So starting here from the monthly chart and kind of zooming in, because really on the really zoomed out, there's not much we can tell from what's going to happen next. We do have a really significant level on the previous all-time high in 2017 bubble. We do not believe this level will get tested, but there is just such a good invitation for price to just maybe come down and try to get filled on these orders that are pending over here, that we never actually got the retest of that 20,000 handle. Once we broke out, we never actually ever retested 20,000 before the run up that we had. Therefore, there is a good chance, probability, that we can fill that level. A good Fibonacci retracement level probably is lying right there, the 38.2, which is a really good continuation level on bull markets or any market at all. The 38.2 is a really good Fibonacci retracement figure that traders look to get positioned in, and this is based on the log scale, meaning this is going to base on the it's actually proportional to the move that we had in a logarithmic chart that we are right now. If we uncheck that, you can see that the levels are much different than what we saw earlier here. We do have as well something really important right now that I can tell already. I don't know if you can, but we do have a trend line running up like this right now, which from the monthly time frame is about to break. It's asking to be broken. Therefore, we have to wait for the next monthly closure to maybe get the final take on this trend line. It is a really important trend line. It is the one that held this dump right here. Therefore, we got to keep an eye on it. And without further ado, let's drop down into a lower time frame. Without question, this is a bull market, and we are looking for buys, the buy side on the higher time frames. Okay, we might be biased short, bearish bias on, or neutral bias on lower time frames, because we're still under a bearish trend on those time frames. But on the high time frame, we're still printing higher highs and higher lows, and we're looking for a higher low compared to the higher to the last low, which was this one right here, or this one right here. Arguably, we're not changing our bias until one of those lows are taking, and that's not possible right now. It's a long way down for that fact to be concrete, and it would probably be game over for Bitcoin if we do reach those levels. All these levels here don't hold. The 618 here is a pretty key level. What I can see, let's just draw that back, trend line draw back in. The weekly level is respecting this trend line pretty nicely. Last week we did have a pretty unclear candle. We didn't make a bullish print like most people were looking for to recover that weekly 21 average, that daily 200. We're still trading in the range of that dump day that we had back in Tuesday, right? Yes. So as you can see, we dropped down on the daily now, and we are still trading in the trading range that happened that May 19th. Yes, that Tuesday that we dumped all the way down to sub 30,000 on some exchanges. On Bitstamp was $30,066, which is a pretty low level already, a 54% retracement in total from all-time highs. We did come to a really good demand zone. I thought the bottom was going to be in. I pretty much called the bottom to be 42,000 from this recent support area right here. We came, tested it, trying to bounce from it, and then just spiked down on that leverage liquidity extreme climax zone that bounced off of really nicely too. We had almost a 50%, actually, yeah, almost a 50% bounce off that level, which signals to us that there's still buying pressure off this really big cryptocurrency that has gained a lot of interest recently due to the easy gains. Dogecoin, Elon Musk, you name it. There's a lot of institutions coming in. It's getting mainstream. News are talking about it all the time because it's gaining momentum, gaining actual importance, because it's actually getting viewed as an asset class more and more as more important people with reliable backgrounds come and actually put their money in this store of wealth, which is really key for this super cycle that they're arguing for. Usually this Bitcoin cycles, they start with the halving and they trigger a 4-year cycle, the first 2 years being bullish, and the last two ones being sideways or bearish corrective. Therefore, we're still on the bullish case here. We're in the second year of the halving. Halving was last year, May 11th. Therefore, we're still in a very good spot on the previous cycles as well. I'm not a cycle analyst or anything, but I do like to keep a halving tracker on that scheme that really has kept Bitcoin on a really, really moon phase that we are seeing still in 2021. We're up, right? Let's see when 2021 started. That's a pretty key level too. Let's just put that on our chart real quick. We did go on drawdown in 2021 right here. Oh no, we didn't. We barely touched 2021's what was that level? It was a 29,420. Yeah, 28,900 was the level that it opened in 2021. But we haven't even touched that low yet. We did over here, but we're still up from the 2021 New Year's 22%. That's really, really good still. We got to look always at the bright side of things. I'm still very good positioned on my long term, and I actually accumulated down here because we do have a really good chance of this being a local low due to the demand zone, just a wipe off liquidity event. A lot of news triggered this, but there's a lot of technical indicators that are telling us to be long right now instead of looking for that continuation that is already exhausted to the downside. We could be looking at an ABC pattern on the Elliott wave theory due to the possible, this could be let me get my Elliott wave tool in. This could be the wave 1, the wave 2, and this could be the possible wave 4 bottom for final wave 5 for the blow off drop for the bull market be good and gone for a long time. We could measure this move right here with a trend based Fibonacci extension and look for the top to be at the 0.618 if that's the low right there. If this continues pivoting up and breaks the all-time high, this would be a pretty good Elliott wave theory extension level to be out, and that would, you know, this would be an ABC classic corrective patterns that are really high probability once the pivot happens here on the lower time frame. That's what my group and I are doing right now. We're just staying out, looking for. I'm actually in small Ethereum longs, but nothing to be excited for, because I'm break even on the trade. Even I'm not that bullish on it, because we're still under the Bitcoin 4-hour neutral zone, which I'm going down right now to the 4-hour. That's really loading. I don't know why it's taking so long. This PC is kind of old, but anyways, not the internet. The bullish case will be fulfilled once a pattern, a price action pattern happens and fulfills and makes that happen. We can't tell right now if the bottom is in. I made a poll on my Instagram and saw that the majority thought that about 70% said that the bottom was possibly in, but we can't make that case for it right now because we still haven't made a higher high on the 4-hour or daily. The 1 hour is currently on an uptrend because we did, you know, break this side right here, make a higher low compared to this one, and make a higher high, but we're still yet to climb upwards and make a continuation for that pivot on the 4-hour, which is locked in by this high right here. So we made a low, we made a lower low. That's the first spot to be confident about having a higher high, but we do need to break this high here to be more confident, and that will trigger a much larger probability trade for us to take to the upside on major cryptos. We do look pretty corrective. I can say we're not, you know, we are possibly in a bearish correction, a symmetrical triangle, but I cannot say that I'm confident that this will play out to the downside. Maybe a couple of wicks to, you know, get the final wipe off those, you know, over leveraged traders that got really punished, especially the long ones that were betting on price to go upwards. But right now we're in a beautiful symmetrical triangle that has 50-50 really chance of breaking to either side. We do have a small corrective pattern here, so we might see a breakdown to retest these lows right here. You know, there's a big support coming up from this trend line that a lot of hodlers don't want to lose, so they're gonna place whatever buy orders here they have for gambling, whatever, just not letting price go, because once price breaks this low here formed in the weekend, we might see around a retest and then just tumble down from there and continue the downtrend. And that's not what really the long-term traders and the miners want to see. They want to see price of Bitcoin going up and everyone benefiting from that best asset in the world, the fastest horse, the one that's here to stay, everyone knows, but in the short term, no one actually can 100% be sure whether this is going to go up or down in the next month or two. But I'm betting on the upside here. We do see a breakout, possible retest here of this, and then a continuation to make the pivot. I'm really going to be confident with the pivot being made, especially on the line chart. We do have confidence that the line chart has a lot of potential, and that's what I'm looking for. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like and comment if you have any questions. I'll be sure to answer them, and I'll talk to you in the next one.